Hey guys! Today we are talking about a couple of very inexpensive brush sets. A couple of y'all have asked if we could try out some not quite so expensive brush sets, and so we have actually shopped Miss A, and we have two brush sets that we are going to kind of talk about today.
So the first one that we are going to be talking about today is actually a set of 24 and it was $20. So there's obviously quite a lot, but my biggest complaint was that with the eye brushes there really wasn't any blending brushes. So it was hard to get like a good eye look. The only type of blending brushes there were brushes like this, where they're not very fluffy. So there's about two brushes like this. And other than that, there are, let's count, there are 6 shader brushes.
Just of different sizes.
Different sizes. There are 6, and that makes no sense to me. If you're wanting like a really intense, like different look, or if you want to kind of like play around with makeup and like do different eyeshadow looks and stuff, then this makes it really difficult because you can't really blend out the crease. There's not really anything fluffy enough to really get that crease like blown out and stuff. So that was really confusing to me, that they didn't have like, that they have 6 shader brushes but not really a fluffy crease brush. Like that's kind of an essential brush to me, and they just don't have it. There were also like a couple brushes that in my opinion just weren't necessary for like an essential, like especially you think essential and you think fluffy brush, but yet they have like brushes that aren't really essential, that people like don't even have. Like this is like a smudger tipped brush, and to me it's not an essential thing. Right.
It's literally like a rubber tip on the end of the you know, I mean, it's not a brush, it's just a rubber tip.
The face brushes weren't bad, but they're not, I mean, they're not bad. This one I actually, like, whenever we actually did a Shop Miss A haul, and we featured these in the haul, and I had mentioned, oh, you wanted something similar to this to do kind of like contour. I tried that out actually, and I did not like this brush for that. Did you?
I tried it too. I tried it too. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You didn't like it either? Yeah, it was kind of, it's not like dense enough, I guess. Like it's super like fluffy, and it just, you can't really do it. So I don't know what this would be good for if not that, because this is like highlight, like that's way too big and that would get way too much product. So this brush, again, not really an essential brush that you need in your collection. Like the powder brushes, like that, this is good. I mean, you can really get the powder on there. It's not a bad powder brush. This one, this is the type of brush that I like for highlight. So I use this for highlight, and I liked it. I like that there was the option of highlight, like a fan brush, or just, you know, a tapered brush like this, but I'm never going to use this. So I mean, it's there for, you know, people that would want it, but I feel like you're either going to be one or the other. So one of the brushes are just going to sit in your collection, or you can give it to somebody who would use it. But I like that there was the option, I guess. The other brushes, they're not bad. Again, like the powder brushes, like blush, it applies it nicely. The bronzer brush, and I use this as contour, this is bronzer, and it really kind of buffed it out. But they're okay. I mean, they're not the best brushes, but they're pretty good.
I agree. They're not the best brushes. They are soft. And the face brushes, I thought, did a good job. I'm not to say that I'm picky, But I'm used to the Real Techniques powder brush,
Yeah.
and it's like super dense and super fluffy and like big. And so, I mean, like, it's probably twice the size of this one.
Probably, yeah. It's
And so,
gigantic.
trying to put powder on with this, I succeeded. It just seemed like it took a little bit longer because it is smaller. But again, it's a decent brush. Not bad at all, the face brushes. Again, I am not a huge fan. I always thought that I would love them, but I'm not really a huge fan of the fan brushes. To me, they just, I get so much more precision with other brushes. The eye brushes, they're, you know, I mean, I found it difficult to do a lot of crease, you know, and blending and stuff because it didn't have really a fluffy brush. And so, I mean, there's a lot of different options here. I mean, you've got your eyeliner brush, and you've got your, you know, your eyebrow comb, and you've got your spoolie, and you've got your tapered, and, you know, all of these, lots of different options. But the eye brushes really kind of lacked for me as well. So, I mean, it's decent, and definitely to get 24 brushes, whether you're going to use them all or whether you're not, you know, get the 24 brushes, pick out the ones that you love, and pass on the other ones to somebody else who will use them.
Right.
So, not a bad deal for $20.
Yeah.
So, you know, they are decent. They're just not my favorites, and they still lack a couple of the ones that you really feel like that you need in an everyday look.
So, with that being said, I would recommend them if you're okay with getting a brush set that you're not going to use all the brushes. And I feel like that's with most brush sets.
Right.
There's probably going to be a couple versus like picking out just individual
Right.
brushes. But individual brushes can cost like $5 a piece, $10 a piece.
$30 a piece.
Yeah, $30 a piece.
Depending on what you
The
get.
brand and all sorts of stuff like that. So, I mean, even if you get it and you use half of them,
It's still a pretty
that's
good
still,
deal.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would still be 12 brushes for, you know,
For $20.
$20. So that's still not bad. So I do recommend it if you see any of these brushes that you think you would use. On to the next one. This one was actually, I think, better quality. So this comes with 5 eyeshadow brushes and 5 face brushes, and I feel like these are a lot of your essential brushes. Also, this does come with a little, do you want to hold it up? It comes with a little like pouch that you can store your brushes in and travel
it's got
and
a
stuff like that.
slot for each and every one of them, and it also has the cover, so once you get them in there, you cover that up and then just roll it up and tie it.
And that's really nice.
So.
And this is actually only $10. So $10 for 10 brushes and a little travel case, I guess. So I'm going to start off talking about the face brushes on this one. It does come with a foundation brush, and I'm actually not the type to use a foundation brush, but this one was actually really good. I've had foundation brushes in the past where they are kind of streaky, and that's the reason why I tend to go towards sponges, but I didn't feel like this left my foundation looking streaky or anything. Did you?
I didn't either, and I actually, I have the Hourglass foundation brush, and I will say this one, it's pretty decent for a foundation brush, and no, it did not leave my foundation looking streaky or anything. I wish it was a little bit smaller as far as the bristles. I wish they were a little bit shorter, not smaller, shorter, so that it would have more of a density. Yeah. My Hourglass ones actually probably go to about there, so this is probably about twice as long, and so I felt like that it maybe it kind of soaked up some of the foundation, whereas my Hourglass one doesn't. Everything kind of stays, you know, right there on the edge. But I did like that it did not leave any kind of streaks and things like that.
Yeah, because that's my biggest like complaint with applying it with a brush is the streakiness of it. There are 4 other like powder brushes. So there is a blush brush. These are just kind of, I guess, here for whatever you want. I use this one as my highlighting brush, and then I use this kind of as bronzer contour, and then this as powder, obviously. They all work pretty well. They're just, like, this one is the only one that I'm kind of, like, iffy on, because to me it's not quite big enough to get the, like, bronzer, like, you know. It is good for contour though, because it's pretty small and it really gets in there. But overall, I mean, I liked these.
I did too, and they're super soft. My biggest complaint though is that I'm used to that big fluffy powder brush, and this one, it just seemed like it took a long time to put the powder on. If you do not necessarily have to have a big fluffy powder brush, then I think this is going to work just fine. I mean, it's tapered all the way around, and so, you know, you can kind of get in to different places really easily. They are super soft, and I did not, other than just wishing it was bigger, I did not have any issue with the face brushes at all.
So now moving on to the eye brushes, I really appreciated that this one had a like fluffy blending brush. It actually has 2 blending brushes, so that's a plus on this one. As you can see, they're a little different. This is the one that I would normally go for to blend out that first transition shade, and then this one to kind of deepen anything out. And then it has a pretty small shader brush, which is okay. It's better to have like a smaller one, I think, and be able to really get in there. Yeah. And with this one, I mean, you have more precision versus having 6 of different sizes for no reason. And then there is a lid brush.
Nice and fluffy.
And then this one, it's an odd one to me. I
kind of used it as a smudger brush, although if it were,
I guess you could,
if it were shorter bristles again, you could actually get in there and smudge a little bit easier. It was a little bit difficult to use as a smudger brush, but that's what I mean, I use a smudger brush every day, and that was the only brush that kind of leaned toward that. But I mean, I liked all of the eye brushes too.
Yeah,
so
I did. This was the only one that I had concern about, I guess. So again, we would definitely recommend this one. I think that they're both really good. I think the quality of these are a little better.
I do agree that the quality on the 10-piece brush set was much better than the other. Although we do both recommend both of them. This one for $10, you cannot beat that. And then the other one for $20 for, look at all those brushes.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you cannot beat it. And I mean, it's a good, at least, starter set. And then, you know, you can add one brush here, one brush there. You know, basically that's kind of what I started out with. I had a set, and then, like, you know, my Lexi blending brush. And, you know, I've come up with a lot of really good favorite brushes that I've gotten, but you can add to this collection with anything else. So definitely a recommendation for Shop Miss A. These are both AOA, and so we'll have kind of a picture of these so that you can kind of find these yourself.
Alright, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the post notification bell so you're notified each and every time we upload.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Glam and Glamour on all of them. Until our next video.
Bye!